beats, just like flies, look out. Here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Thank you for tuning in. And it is the Dreadlock Spidey. It is the Dreadlock Spidey. Thank you for tuning in. Last week, y'all, I got to admit, I know now when I went into work, this is going to be sad. Tuesday, I wasn't upset, but I was just really agitated, and I couldn't necessarily understand why. But prior to that day, like last night, that Monday before that, I had this feeling like something revolutionary was taking place. Something revolutionary was taking place. Well, my narrator, my creator, felt that sense, right? So I want to say the vibe is there when you lose somebody. Rest in peace to my homie Logan. I had found out like days later that one of my homeboys, he's the dude that got killed. Well, my coworker, who was a really good guy, he was the guy that got killed in that motorcycle accident on the highway not too far from here. So, you know, watch out for bikers, y'all, because that man, he really had a lot of impact, and he was really in support of Dreadlock Spidey. He really was. And my Monster Squad episode was based on him big time today, and it was also about we do have a book that I've read, Tom Brown's Field Guide to Nature and Observation and Tracking, and some other things I want to talk about because we definitely gonna, we got to have some education and some philosophy, but we also have fun. That's why I got the mask on. That's why Dreadlock Spidey is here in the first place. But what has happened, the world also affects Spidey. Real talk, it gets in the way. So in the world today, something really, really serious is taking place. And it wouldn't be correct if I didn't address it. And I'm glad that Elon's here because he can talk about, he can tell me his opinion about this. But yesterday, I was really disturbed with some information. A couple of days ago, I was really disturbed with information about two things. One is a place called Alligator Alcatraz where they detain migrants for a short period of time. But here's the case. The reason why they chose this place in the Everglades of Florida is because they say that the crocodiles make sure that nobody tries to escape. But this is supposed to be a place. I understand nobody wants people here that's illegal, okay? But now we're in a situation where moral value is being questioned. Because as a social worker, people don't know that I have a bachelor's degree in social work and a minor in dealing with people who have been through trauma. All right, one thing about it, when you huddle, they're detaining also children. One thing about when you huddle all these people together in one spot, they don't always get supervised. And here is something that is very evil, that is everybody's worst nightmare. Oftentimes, sexual offenders are huddled in those areas. There's a reason why some people are fleeing. And when you bunch all those children in there with those offenders, you put them at a high level of being assaulted. So it don't matter who or why is at fault when it comes to kids. I think we actually need to start checking ourselves and caring about what's going on. You know? And I'm going to get straight up. Be aware about that. But, and this ain't no big shot at the Trump administration. But something very serious is taking place. And I'm just going to play it because I couldn't believe what I heard on the news, but it's true. And I'm just going to play it for you.
The Supreme Court has given federal agents the green light to stop and detain individuals based on where they work, the color of their skin, and for speaking Spanish. I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter, and while some are calling this decision a significant victory for the Trump administration, others are saying it's an attack on the community.
No estoy de acuerdo porque somos, yo pienso que no es bueno que nos discriminen a nosotros los hispanos.
I don't agree with the ruling. I don't think it is right for them to discriminate against us Hispanics Hispanics because of our skin color, where we work, or because we don't speak English. We simply come to this country to work and help our families.
Maria Cruz, who lives in Arvin, is one of the several residents who doesn't agree with the Supreme Court ruling announced Monday. The 6-3 decision allows immigration agents to stop and detain people off the streets of Southern California based on how they look, the language they speak, where they are, or the work they do. This decision is seen as a victory for the Trump administration's immigration enforcement, as it allows ICE to carry out roving patrols in areas like car washes and Home Depot parking lots, which were previously restricted by a lower court order.
It's a stamp of approval from the U.S. Supreme Court on those what we believe still are unconstitutional practices of racial profiling.
Immigration attorney Wynn Eden says this ruling reverses a lower court order filed in June that prevented racial profiling tactics to be used during the raids in Los Angeles.
This president has exercised this, what we call the shadow docket, or this emergency clause. Declaring emergencies can give him the ability to do things for fairly short periods of time.
He says this is a preliminary decision and that the litigation is ongoing. The next hearing date is scheduled for September 24th. However, this decision has raised concerns in areas of Kern County, such as Arvin, where the majority of residents are Spanish-speaking.
These are tough times. This makes the Hispanic community feel discriminated against. It's sad to see the fields empty with no workers. Who's going to work these jobs?
While the Supreme Court's ruling mainly applies to Southern California, people here are wondering how soon before it also applies in Kern County. For 23 ABC, I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter.
I thought that was just crazy as hell. I thought that was the crazy. I was like, shame on anybody that would actually enforce that law. If you put on a badge and you would actually just go out there and do that like that, come on, bro. At one point or another, people need to start putting their foot down about something, but I don't know what to say about this one. That one is just wild. That's like Jim Crow. That is Jim Crow type stuff.
But it's a counteractive to what Biden did. Biden let...
You need a mic.
Biden let 15 million illegal immigrants in the United States before the border got closed. So, you know, with Trump terms, you know, he already said he was going to toughen up with the border, build the wall and everything. So it's just, you know.
He did say that. He said he's going to build that wall. He said that, so we know I'll jump. He just continuing his promise. That's what you're saying, big dog.
He trying to clean up what Biden did. He left 15 million people across that border before he left office, because it was just like open door policy. Everybody was just flooding the border. He just let them right on in. So you can imagine when you catch it, MS-13 gang leaders, we talking about set up in these different cities, man. And now that the pressure is coming down, man, they've been cracking down with guns, drugs. They've been, these illegal aliens been taking over apartment complexes. They've been doing a whole lot of stuff, man, and it's like people been calling for it, man.
Okay. Just like it wasn't but a week or two ago, the feds cracked down that house in St. Charles. There was Asian that were trafficking people.
Yeah.
And they've been aware of like how things. There's a different type of awareness, and that's what we was talking about a couple shows ago. Spidey is telling y'all crime is different. If y'all going out here shooting guns, y'all hearing pros and cons. I mean, crime and having to enforce law, it has its ups and its downs, and there are going to be victims who ain't had no part in what any of this foolishness are. Whatever you got going on, there's always somebody standing by that could get hurt. There's always consequences to some actions, right? And that's why a lot of that is illegal, because a lot of people, Big Bro made a good point.
And they also found 60. This same sting, they found 60 kids last week down in Florida, man, on this same sting.
But it's what they call the web. When you find all those strings, there's a bunch of stuff, web of crime going down. Sometimes when you get to the center of it, you see what they're all trying to stick together, because they don't want to it's a really big thing, and be aware. So the next couple of episodes, we're definitely going to be keeping up on with that. I'm glad I played that because that was really good information. I'm going to follow up about alligator Alcatraz, and we're going to follow up about the law, and we're going to talk more about government policy and your right and what you can do. I ain't gonna, Spidey ain't what you can do as a citizen in your neighborhood from your friendly neighborhood, Dreadlock Spidey. All right, now, hold on, where is that? All right, now, last Tuesday, when Spidey wanted to get on, there was a particular, okay, before we get into, there was a song I wanted to play for y'all that I might not have right now. But I wanted to talk about rap a little bit. And right now, in my opinion, I wanted to talk about reading and survival. You know, I had a little structure for last Tuesday's episode. But I also wanted to talk about rap. And right now, what I see, because we're going to have that countdown at who's the top 10 rappers in 2025 that's coming. Anybody who's already associated with Overtime Studios, if you're a podcaster, if you're invested into the studio, I definitely would appreciate you just giving me feedback when we come up with the list. I'm about to start narrowing it down in October. Moving on to that, you know what I mean? But my point was to read. Because reading and listening and being aware. Because if I wasn't reading, I wouldn't have got none of the information that I'm going to be able to give y'all today, okay? I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing right now. So Spidey likes to do his reading and then coming back. All right, so what I wanted to talk about was the drill rap. I wanted to actually get down to the nitty gritty. And also, right now, it seems to me that white rappers, female rappers, and the UK drill rappers are really what they really are getting a lot of the spotlight. And my theory was this. Could it be, and y'all gonna probably stone me and boo me for this, could it be that the usual story that's coming, could it be the image? It's usually a black man rapping. Could it be that society is tired of seeing and hearing a black man rap and being dominant in the industry? Because they say it was already an agenda to get us out of the spot. It's already an agenda. So, would y'all think that it's like a system so in the industry plants can get the sex out there using the women and the white rappers can come out and start telling their story? Because what I do see is this.
You got to call her.
Yeah. Shut up. That's rude, but you know, that's maybe that's the call. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna take it as a sign. We're gonna take it as a sign. Welcome. You want a chair, grab a mic. But nice to meet you, blood brother. Well, nice to meet you. Yeah, we was just talking about the situation with Trump and the administration going around basically. Y'all want to hear it? You ain't heard it yet? Okay, so we're going to replay it, Big Dog, since we got a few more people in here. Yeah, because this is that important. It really is.
The Supreme Court has given federal agents the green light to stop and detain individuals based on where they work, the color of their skin, and for speaking Spanish. I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter, and while some are calling this decision a significant victory for the Trump administration, others are saying it's an attack on the community.
No estoy de acuerdo porque somos, yo pienso que no es bueno que nos discriminen a nosotros los hispanos.
I don't agree with the ruling. I don't think it is right for them to discriminate against us Hispanics because of our skin color, where we work, or because we don't speak English. We simply come to this country to work and help our families.
Maria Cruz, who lives in Arvin, is one of the several residents who doesn't agree with the Supreme Court ruling announced Monday. The 6-3 decision allows immigration agents to stop and detain people off the streets of Southern California based on how they look, the language they speak, where they are, or the work they do. This decision is seen as a victory for the Trump administration's immigration enforcement as it allows ICE to carry out roving patrols in areas like car washes and Home Depot parking lots, which were previously restricted by a lower court order.
It's a stamp of approval from the U.S. Supreme Court on those, what we believe still are unconstitutional practices of racial profiling.
Immigration attorney Wen Eden says this ruling reverses a lower court order filed in June that prevented racial profiling tactics to be used during the raids in Los Angeles.
This president has exercised this, what we call the shadow docket, or this emergency clause. Declaring emergencies can give him the ability to do things for fairly short periods of time.
He says this is a preliminary decision and that the litigation is ongoing. The next hearing date is scheduled for September 24th. However, this decision has raised concerns in areas of Kern County, such as Arvin, where the majority of residents are Spanish-speaking.
These are tough times. This makes the Hispanic community feel discriminated against. It's sad to see the fields empty with no workers. Who's going to work these jobs?
While the Supreme Court's ruling mainly applies to Southern California, people here are wondering how soon before it also applies in Kern County. For 23 ABC, I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter.
We might as well turn these mics on, because we was going to talk about the drill rap when we was talking about rappers and favoritism. And we can get back to that, but I want these people's opinion about what that is, because that's really serious. And Spidey is against oppression and racial profiling. Ain't he the one that wasn't with the act?
Nah, yeah, I think that's
Yeah, just a little bit.
My mic down.
Hey, it's Ishta
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, yeah.
Check.
I think that's mad concerning. First off, because if they start discriminating against Mexican people, who's next after they get done with them?
Yeah,
it's us.
But we've been facing discrimination for a long time, though. It's like I don't want to say it like this, but welcome to our world. You know, welcome to our world a little bit. You know, instead of us getting sent to Africa, we get sent to prison. You know, y'all getting sent back home. So it's just. I don't know. Welcome to our world.
This is perspective.
Yeah, this is
welcome
the black
to our
experience.
world.
This is exactly the black experience that we've been having for over 400 years now.
Forever.
Like
forever. And still.
God dang.
He said what? You got a caller in?
I know, that's why I ain't cut it off. What? Only in St. Louis. Oh, sorry. Spidey, sorry, Batman.
Not Batman. Oh, snap. It is Batman.
You tripping, Batman.
What? Commissioner Gordon here. Okay, Commissioner. Come on here. It could be the Commissioner calling.
Just hit the green button, you know what I mean? Hit the green button. You never know who might be calling. It might be $1 million on the phone.
They ain't calling in.
They trying to get your feedback for you.
I think the biggest problem that there is with what's actually happening right now isn't the fact that they are discriminating on people. It's the fact that Trump has started calling emergency operations, which basically gives him full control over the government to do whatever it is that he wants.
Yeah.
And he knows that as long as he continues to say, hey, we've got an emergency.
Yeah.
All of these people are in here coming into our country illegally, and this is a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Now we can bring in troops. Now we can bring in agents. Now we can do things like basically like if you're in Nazi Germany, this is basically what the Gestapo did to Jewish people.
Yeah.
They would just basically see them on the street.
Yeah.
If you looked like a Jewish person, if you spoke their language, they were hunting you. They were hunting you, and they're doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
And the scariest part is that there are so many people who are willing to participate in this blatant discrimination and this blatant
they playing ice twice as much.
One thing. Is you for it or against it?
I'm not for that. I'm against that.
Come on now, y'all.
I am 100%
against it.
Y'all ain't heard about the 60 kids just got found.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all ain't heard about the 96 MSL 13 top leaders in the cartels got caught in the United States.
Yeah.
Setting up in different cities.
Yeah, and they was fighting at the meeting when they said they was gonna let the FBI help. They start fighting.
Without what Trump is doing, and to me, he only cleaning up for the 15 million that Biden had over here.
Exactly.
Before Trump closed that border back and started back building that building that gate.
Yeah.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
See, and the thing that people aren't really understanding is that the thing that Trump is saying is that he's trying to clean up immigration.
Yeah.
Basically. But if you look at the statistics of when Trump was in office, when Biden was in office, when Trump was in office again, and when Obama was in office,
Right.
Obama and Biden's, when they were under their terms, they actually deported more people during their time than Trump ever did.
They ever did.
And they lie and they act like they're the ones who have been doing this stuff, but it's actually it was actually with the Democratic Party that started doing all of the
Sir,
moving people out.
Can I ask you a question? I love. How do you get this? Where's your information? Where did you get it from?
Where
what
do I
did
get
you do to get it? What was the thing that you had to do to retrieve that information? Look what I got in my hand. Tell people what it starts with an R. What was that thing you had to do to actually get?
You got to read.
Yeah, read.
You got to read. and there's plenty of news outlets out there that will actually show you what the truth is. Don't listen to CNN. Do not listen to Fox
So
News.
multiple reads, just like you listen to multiple whatever. Just
exactly.
You have to have multiple sources of information in order to actually know what's really going on.
You got to do your journalism.
Yes,
you got to get your journalism game.
To me, Trump is saving this country from all the illegal aliens that's out here that's setting up base.
But look, he's stopping at drugs.
It's so many cities out here that y'all wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
The cartel that took over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say that.
We would have never fought these cartels.
Oh no, I heard about when they had the Venezuelan people who were in Chicago and they took over a whole block.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
But you know what's more concerning than some Venezuelan gang coming over here? Then the army coming into your own city and your own country and locking up your people.
Yeah.
That should be way more concerning than you than what they got going on.
But it's the cartel.
How many guns they got from these people?
But it's the cartel.
Mike. If you're so concerned about guns, then why aren't you worried about the reason why Texas has laws to where anybody can walk into the store and get a gun?
That is true.
628. Y'all gotta quit. But hold on. I'm gonna let ladies first. I'm gonna give you go ahead and get 2 minutes of your own just to go ahead and say what's on your mind, because they finna go. I already know. And that's fine.
He be studying. He be in the house
and
studying.
That's fine. That's what we here for.
He be in the house studying. Don't get me wrong, because I'm the type, I'll be like, oh, look what CNN said real quick. And he be like, nah, sis. No, this is what's really going on, So, but as the aspect of the immigration, I still feel like it's wrong. But like I said, too, welcome to our world. Welcome to our world, bro. And brothers been getting their stuff kicked in and blocks taken from them and businesses taken from them. Look at T.I. Remember T.I. bus? He had hella guns. You hear me? And this was just one black man. So I'm not surprised. But at the end of the day, Trump movement, I feel like is a drug movement. And he really just trying to take the cartel down, bro. He's trying to take the cartel down. He going for a major shark, and his ass is an orca. And his ass is an orca.
You got some seconds. You say
I got some seconds.
You got some seconds.
That's what I feel, bro. That's what I feel. And look, black folks gonna get caught in the middle of the BS. We gonna get caught in the middle.
Nah, that's a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game.
You gonna pass it to your brother now? Go
ahead, bro.
Here's the big issue. Because if you're saying that he fighting the cartel, they've been doing the war on drugs have been going on since forever. Back in the 70s, they had a war on drugs. If there's a war on drugs, how are we losing the battle? Because why is it intensifying like this?
Mm-hmm.
Who's bringing this stuff in? We've seen, there's a movie out there with Tom Cruise in it that shows how this white man would fly planes from Africa over to America, bringing the cocaine into our country. Mm-hmm. And guess who he was getting backed by? The senators. The senators in the government. There is no war on drugs because they put the drugs in the streets.
It's just going to be who Big Daddy drug.
How can there be a war on drugs if you're the one that's bringing in the drugs?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And then if Trump is really fighting immigration, then why is it only Mexicans are the ones who are getting deported?
True. Facts.
Can we talk about that?
Say drop the bomb. Nah.
I saw a video on YouTube the other day with this white girl who said that her daddy has been in this country illegally for over 13 years, and he has never once been told he needs to leave. Ever.
But he ain't got no papers.
He got no papers.
He got no papers.
He living in this country right now
He
illegally.
butchering you, dude.
You know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? He got stopped by the police. He got stopped by the police, and the police thought he was white, and they let him go. He's an illegal
and he was
immigrant.
an illegal immigrant, no papers.
If immigration is the big problem, why did they let all them white South Africans into America?
I know, right? Say that.
If we're trying to get people out of the country, why are we letting all of these South Africans into the country who are quote unquote being killed in Africa? When thousands of black people die every day in America, 1,000 people die in Africa every day. But they still want to act like
He good.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry.
He still
I
got
can talk about this all day. This immigration thing is a joke. It's a joke for Trump. Trump is doing this so that they can control.
Now what's up? But that's good. That's what we gonna do. So there you have it. And the whole point is that these 3 different perspectives that y'all heard. Dreadlock Spidey podcast, where we talk, we philosophize, we talk, we speak, and you know it's here to build. It's a web to build. So, like I said, when we're talking about rap, now that we got that piece, we'll keep on with that. I'll stay looking at. Now, so I bet you are familiar with. I bet you are familiar with Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh yeah, I am very well versed on Alligator Alcatraz.
Using all my platform to talk about that. Just like I talked about people being careful and after the tornado hitting y'all was out there around them bricks. The dust from them bricks got all kinds of stuff in there. I was on that. So I'm gonna bring the news. I don't care whatever Dreadlock Spidey find out when he out there with the Ninja Turtles in the alley. I'm gonna report it on the mic because I'm
in April.
Bringing the news.
All right, so like I was saying, this is my personal observation. We're going to talk about rap for a little while. So, like I said, 2025, we're going to have the top 10 best rappers of 2025, right?
Okay.
We're coming to there. We already laid down like some principles and stuff like that. But this is something that has been getting me because I've been looking at the music that I like listening to. I'm 44, all right? I like battle rap, but I do like drill rap. I like the pace. I'm also one of those artists who I did the Jay-Z method. I did the Eminem had the Notebook. I've also do the Juice method where they
Juice WRLD.
The Juice WRLD method where he punching in, or the Lil Wayne method. All right. Now because of that and the shortness of songs, you don't have the lyrical content that you used to have, okay? We know that. But it's a strong flow, and real quick, they do say what they need to say. It's just real fast.
Right.
What I have noticed is that right now, it seems like to me, audiences are tired of the stereotypical black man rapping, telling his story about the hood. Yeah. King Von was like the truth as far as, a different degree. Tupac was who he was. Right. But right now, I'm seeing a lot of like white rappers make it. I'm seeing a lot of female rappers make it, especially if they talk about sex, and I'm all for it. But I also see a lot of UK rappers who are drill rappers coming out and they doing it, making some noise.
Right.
I see not saying that I don't see brothers being mainly the dominant ones that people are running to, anymore.
Everybody here is getting curly.
I can see what you mean by that.
Everybody here is getting curly.
I'd still say that when it comes to rap as a whole, black people definitely are still on top. Because, even if you're not a fan of Kendrick or Drake, those are the 2 biggest names in rap right now. And you can't get no better than that.
You've heard familiar with Georgiana? I
don't think so.
Check her out. She was the one. She had
Oh, no. I think 20s. I do know that song.
Very petite.
Yeah, I have.
Did the rap, in the Tiger, and did the John Travolta move. I think she can rap, but people go, this is what I do see. When it's somebody white, I've heard somebody say she has potential to be the GOAT. What was it? Chris Brown said he was rocking with her. She was his favorite rapper. He liked her voice. I do like her voice. Yeah. I do think she can spit.
I think she got a great voice.
And I like, I'm probably gonna play. It's got cussing on it, but you know what? I'm probably gonna go ahead and play a rapper. I was gonna play Lil S from England or from London, but I think, hold on, do I got it on here? He's a dude that I paid it till I found out about it in college, and his name is Max the Demon, and he from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna say it. Dude a Crip. He early 20s. He a Crip. His brother a Crip. He does come from a white family, but he grew up in the projects in Brooklyn, right? And apparently he did a couple years in prison because his brother committed a double murder. And he's still out.
Damn.
And when you hear his voice and you see him, when you see him, but when you hear him and he gets to talk. All right, and he's just, I'm gonna go ahead and play his song, and this is called Rockets. And it's kind of old. It's not old. It's months old, but it's new to people. I think a lot of people in St. Louis. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
New to the ears. New to the ears, yeah.
And he's dissing some other white rappers, other drill rappers in New York at this point in this song. But I thought it was real smooth.
I didn't even know there was white drill rappers in New York.
You hear me? Say that, bro.
Oh, well, we're gonna go ahead and play the homies. Here we go.
Gang, gang, gang. Max the Demon, man. You know the fuck I'm rocking. Sputnik. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang. Frag. I don't talk, I be stepping. I pray to swing every time that I'm bending. Woke up on Fija, I teach them a lesson. I can't leave the crib without G in possession. I send little O and they side as a message. I see how I be don't die as a blessing. Stayed over time just to check in, I check. I call up BA, been doing a second. I'm blowing me sliding. I send little money to line them. They cap, they be ducking and hiding, but Max always find them. Think they forgot to remind them. C4 in traffic, I'm trying to make him take off his diamonds. I'm trying to click to the cops, got Mikey on dick, trying to diss them and catch him a hot one. Kai on dick, but we flocked them. So we on court trying to score like he played for the Rockets. I'm in my back, they can't stop shit. Fuck by the bitch, I get chips trying to make me a profit. I love been doing that hot shit. This shit on bro, see a third on my mother, I'm flopping. Clip holding 12 like it's Stockton. I'm on they block trying to bang on the op like he blocker. Been through the style with some options. If we get busy on Maddie on Schwinn, I'ma drop him. Get in the zone when I'm creeping. I've been a threat on the course since the start of the season. I'm getting back over pieces. 20 a week over Zelka, Japan, and I'm greasing. I get a touchy, I'm bleeding. Run up a check in the data, so wave when I'm teaching. I start to flick if he reaching. He could get left on his block for the shit that he preaching. I don't talk, I be stepping. I pray to swing every time that I'm bending. Woke up on Fija, I teach him a lesson. I can't leave the crib without G in possession. I send little O and they side as a message. I see how I be don't die as a blessing. Stayed over time just to check in, I check. I call up BA, been doing a second. I'm blowing me sliding. I send little money to line them. They cap, they be ducking and hiding, but Max always find them. Think they forgot to remind them. C4 in traffic, I'm trying to make him take off his diamonds. I'm trying to click to the cops, got Mikey on dick, trying to diss till they catch him a hot one. Kai on dick, but we flocked him. So we on court trying to score like he played for the Rockets.
That's like that right there.
Nah, that actually is fire. But all right, this is my thing with drill rap. I feel like the beats be so hard that it really don't matter what anybody's saying on the beat, because the beat is gonna rock. And as long as you can ride on top of that beat,
yeah, the beat
gonna
really carry
matter.
you.
The beat is gonna carry you.
The beat gonna carry you, and that's how drill is, boy. The beat be carrying.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's he talking about a lot of like sliding and all of that, and that's cool and all. But like, where's the real substance? Like, if you in them streets, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to tell your story. But I mean, everybody ain't a shooter,
right?
Let's just be real about that. Everybody ain't a shooter.
Or y'all ain't good at it. Everybody ain't a killer.
Right. Everybody ain't a
All
killer.
y'all
Right. And it's like, I don't know
and
how
then what
every
happened,
drill...
but look, this what happened. They come out like that. Then somebody really slide. Then next thing you know, you don't hear from their ass no more. That's how it be. Like, it'll be a whole different rap. Like, when who was that? What is that boy name? The one that went against Eminem. What's his name?
MGK.
He wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
no, he held his own.
He
that's
wasn't ready for that.
Oh, that's the whole.
I feel like he wasn't ready for it.
Because that's M. But
Kill shot.
I feel like Kill Shot was cool, but M killed him back though. Like,
I mean, you can't beat him, but he held his own.
That's all we saying.
Right. That's what
he held it, I guess. I don't know.
But I will say that Eminem did do him so crazy. He did move
Marshall,
he
you
meant to
still
pop.
a goat, period.
He said, I'm going to pop music now. Now he
but
wears
it's the
skirts
same
and
with
play
the
guitar.
drill. That's why I said,
when
you know
they get
what?
tapped, when they get caught up, and you know, and the next week I'm thinking I'm gonna play somebody CTS Lil Wick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play CTS Lil Wick. He from shouts out to the Give Block. Apparently he from the hood. So
Okay.
We gonna support the hood. Yeah, Southside. Apparently
Support
from
the hood.
And I found out what went down, and yeah, he a white boy, but he a St. Louis white boy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so
I still support it.
he was still right. He was handling. Apparently, he shot a. He had to shoot somebody when he was younger. Dude up the burner. Didn't think he was gonna up the burner. Y'all, I'm gonna be real with you. I got some homeboys I can count them on my hand, okay?
Yeah.
But don't be thinking because somebody white that they can't fight. Please quit thinking.
Or
that
they won't
like,
shoot
That's
you.
a fact. That is a fact.
Or they won't shoot you.
Please, because I didn't know. I know some that will, bruh,
hands on-
please. I've seen
But
it.
if you looking at life like white or black and you already judging a motherfucker because they white, you not a person. Because the thing is, don't try people. How about not even the color? How about don't try people? Because just the way you up it on a white, a black, a Mexican, a Haitian, don't try people because you never know what kind of person that person is.
Right.
You don't know they trauma or nothing.
Right.
I want to let everybody know that right now it's an asteroid heading toward our solar system. It's called 31 Atlas. A lot of people ain't watching the news.
What?
Now, they don't know if this is a spacecraft or they don't know if it's a meteor. But it's dodging stuff. It's not hitting stuff. These people think we finna be under invasion, alien invasion. So I would like everybody to just do the research on this, man. You know, we not alone out here in this universe, man.
Right.
And people need to just, you know, everything that people concerned about, this little petty stuff going on, he say, she say, is deeper than that. We got to stick together as a human race.
Yeah.
Because what's coming out that cloud.
But I seen what you was talking about.
Stick together has what?
We need to stick together as a race of people, human beings.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? This alien invasion that's coming up on us, we don't know
Now-
what they gonna do, man. We don't know if they
And you know what? I just seen the UFOs. They just showed it today. It was a missile they launched at what they thought was a UFO. And the missile that they launched, it dodged like whatever the government had launched at them. It had dodged it, and it had them panicking. They was panicking all on the microphone and stuff. And I seen that, but they were saying it was like a piece that fell off of the asteroid. Unc said
Now,
it's coming
here's-
this way.
here's a little
It was
something.
like a little piece of the asteroid,
Here's a
but they
little
were saying it
something.
was a ship. Like the same thing Uncle was talking about. I saw it today.
Yeah.
But they were saying, but that's what they said. It was like smaller than what the asteroid was.
Right.
And they believed that it had came from the asteroid.
Right.
Like real talk. Uncle
We
is not
talking about
lying.
rockets.
So there's this
Yeah.
book.
Subhanallah.
There's
It's
this
beautiful.
book out there. It's called Agenda 21. Now, the book Agenda 21 is a book that goes over a bunch of different like plans and plots to help control the minds of people. In the book, it talked about how they would use the Twin Towers and they would blow them up, and they were going to blame Cuba for it, and said that Cuba was trying to attack us, and then they would go into war with Cuba so that they can get Cuba out of there. This was during the time
They
that
just
the
used a
Cuban
different
Missile Crisis
country.
was going
Yeah.
on.
Same
Yeah.
place, just to different people.
Same place, just different people. And now, here's the even crazier part. That was actually the second time. I don't know if anybody really remembers this, but that was actually the second time that they tried to blow up the two towers.
Yeah.
The first time they tried to blow up the two towers was like in the early 90s.
Yeah.
They tried to blow it up from the bottom,
Yeah.
but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So the second time that they did it from the top.
Yeah.
Technically
Basically the like middle.
The middle of the towers.
Yeah.
Now,
So what y'all saying that was a conspiracy?
No, but
No.
they did say Project Bluebeam was supposed to be a project where they
Conspiracy
used.
involved, but you're sorry, sister, to cut you off. Conspiracy involved, but I ain't thinking that you're crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you talking about the asteroid, they said that's how it was gonna start. They was gonna start saying that an asteroid was gonna hit Earth, and they were gonna use Project Bluebeam to try to fake some kind of either a second coming of the Christ or an alien
Yeah,
invasion.
They wanted Fidel that bad.
Yeah.
They
That's-
were gonna fake the second
Because the second coming of the Christ was
That's
what
in the
everybody
book.
thought it was going to be because they start hearing horns and all of that stuff.
That was in the
but
book.
then they changed it and said they ain't finna do that. They making it for an alien invasion, that they were actually going to fake an alien invasion. And they were
telling
going to release the satellites, and everybody was actually going to start testing these laser satellites that all these billionaire trillionaires bought. That's why everybody got bunkers underground, because they was going to release
Central
them fucking
Intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a
I'm telling
Terminator
you,
type shit.
Hold on.
Read
How-
the book.
Research.
Read the book.
Research.
Agenda 21.
Yeah, and read Agenda 21.
What she just talked about was in that book.
Yeah.
Agenda 21. The exact thing that she just said was in there.
Agenda 21
it was in
on
there.
me.
And I found out about this book, Agenda 21, in 2015.
Yep, on me.
That's when I found out about the book Agenda 21. Now that book is still older than that.
It's still older than that.
It's older than that. But a lot of the things that they use to try and control the minds of people it's in that
Agenda
book.
21.
It is in that book.
Now we got because this is a state of emergency for podcasts, we got two brothers that just walked in here, and I'm gonna want their opinion about some stuff. Yeah, I'm finna, you know what? Just because it's like that, we gonna talk about this next Tuesday. This book I read, but right now I'm gonna play something for y'all. I already played it twice. I don't care because it's that important. I want y'all opinion about it too, and it's what's going on in the world right now. And I am gonna play a third time.
I know.
Cause it's like that. You got to. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we can hear from the beginning.
The Supreme Court has given federal agents the green light to stop and detain individuals based on where they work, the color of their skin, and for speaking Spanish. I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter, and while some are calling this decision a significant victory for the Trump administration, others are saying it's an attack on the community.
No estoy de acuerdo porque somos, yo pienso que no es bueno que nos discriminen a nosotros los hispanos.
I don't agree with the ruling. I don't think it is right for them to discriminate against us Hispanics because of our skin color, where we work, or because we don't speak English. We simply come to this country to work and help our families.
Maria Cruz, who lives in Arvin, is one of the several residents who doesn't agree with the Supreme Court ruling announced Monday. The 6-3 decision allows immigration agents to stop and detain people off the streets of Southern California based on how they look, the language they speak, where they are, or the work they do. This decision is seen as a victory for the Trump administration's immigration enforcement as it allows ICE to carry out roving patrols in areas like car washes and Home Depot parking lots, which were previously restricted by a lower court order.
It's a stamp of approval from the U.S. Supreme Court on those, what we believe still are unconstitutional practices of racial profiling.
Immigration attorney Wynn Eden says this ruling reverses a lower court order filed in June that prevented racial profiling tactics to be used during the raids in Los Angeles.
This president has exercised this, what we call the shadow docket, or this emergency clause. Declaring emergencies can give him the ability to do things for fairly short periods of time.
He says this is a preliminary decision and that the litigation is ongoing. The next hearing date is scheduled for September 24th. However, this decision has raised concerns in areas of Kern County, such as Arvin, where the majority of residents are Spanish speaking.
These are tough times. This makes the Hispanic community feel discriminated against. It's sad to see the fields empty with no workers. Who's going to work these jobs?
While the Supreme Court's ruling mainly applies to Southern California, people here are wondering how soon before it also applies in Kern County. For 23 ABC, I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter.
Man, no
doubt. Now I'm gonna want y'all. They spoke. He brought up a good point though. She did too, but his point of the day was, if it ain't discrimination, why is it just the Latinos and it ain't anybody else? Why is it just them? Was that your point, bro?
That was my point.
Because they're the ones coming across the border. They getting the ones that's coming across the border. All right, it's already they've been
you was
set
ready
up
for it, damn.
I'm telling you, these the ones that's coming across the border. So that's my answer. What you
Yeah, they ain't got to speak yet. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I've been watching a little bit of it, and it's so much been said about Trump. You know, it's kind of confusing. But to me, to be honest with you, you were to had say, let's make America great again. That's what I think you need to focus on, Trump.
Okay.
That's what I think.
But he think getting Mexicans out of
I'm
here
with
is
that.
making it great again.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to go over this, but we're going to say, because this was just an important. So look up alligator Alcatraz. Yesterday I got that information, and I thought that was more important than what I really wanted to talk about. But I'm going to talk about it. It's based on a book about nature and survival. Because trust me, it all is going to get down to, because the Spidey universe is adapted into my comic book now. And it's really finna get real. We got so many trees, because the participation, man, it's like, I got to keep it 100. Like months ago, I had this mask about a year. Months ago, I literally was in my masjid. I'm Muslim, but I was in the mosque and I just had it on my face. I had it on for some reason, and I took it off. But the kids saw it,
Yeah.
and you gotta think these kids from the Middle East and they playing soccer. So when they see me, they see I try to take it off. They say, "No, man, put it on. Put it back on. We want to play. We want to play soccer with Spidey." So it's like, it just came. I like to see how it make people feel. Plus, we got so much going on. I know I got permission from I got permission to do what I need to do, so we gonna do it. But for now, thank y'all for tuning in. Tune in next Tuesday at 6 o'clock for another episode of Dreadlock Spidey. Tonight was just a special edition, and we gonna continue everything. Tune into the web. Tap in. Get in my web. We gonna play this thing.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Your creativity process, the way you got